Amanda here. So I'm here again to share some more work on the Journaling Joy January journal. So if you've not been following along, there is a link to a playlist in the description box below which shares all of the process of this journal so far. So today I thought we'd put the book to one side and make something that, you know, we can make time and time again for other journals that's not specific to this journal. And I thought we'd make some old-fashioned charms, and this is how we used to make them back in the day. The old ways are the best. And we used bottle caps. Okay, so I've had these in my collection for absolutely years. I think I bought them from Wilko's back in the day. They're just your standard home brewing bottle caps. So the first thing that you need to do, depending on your bottle caps, you may already have some fancy crafty type ones, but you will find that those that are designed specifically for crafting are way more expensive than making your own. The only downside is that you obviously generally have to buy this kind of thing in quite a large packet, but I don't think I paid too much, and you can always double up with a crafty buddy or ask around and do a bit of a swap. You could recycle beer bottles that have already been opened, but I find that they don't always squash the same. So these have got like a rubber seal inside, obviously to help seal whatever goes in the bottle. So I remove that with my pokey tool, and then all you need to do with this is run it through your Big Shot. It will not damage your Big Shot. However, what I will say is put it on some old plates, okay? And what you want to do is you want to put the flat side down on your most scratched plate, and then the open side there, you want your best plate on top, because it will curve around, and this here is what will scratch. This here will end up smooth, if you see. Okay, so that ends up smooth, and the bottom part is what will scratch any plates. So let me just retell you. So the you know, the bottom of the cap facing down onto your, you know, your scratched plate that you use, because obviously when you're using your die cutting machine, you have one plate that's going to get scratched and one that you try and keep nice, and then put your nice plate on top. Okay, then just run it through your machine. It'll make a crack sound. Okay, that's just this flattening. It will not damage your machine, and it will not break your it won't break your plates. Okay, I've done it for years. Right, so I've got a couple here. I'm removing the rest of that little gluey residue. It might depend on what you've got as to whether you've got any residue on yours, but you want to get as much of it off as you can, otherwise what you want to stick on it will be lumpy and bumper. Okay, then I'm getting two paints, and it's just acrylic paint, and I've got one is brown and one is blue. It just happens to be a Stamperia one that I bought ages ago and I've never used. So I don't think it really matters. I think you just kind of go for it. So we're going to put a little bit of brown on. Okay. A little bit of brown on in random places. Come on. It's like glue. It don't want to come out. And same here. Okay. Come on. Oh, it's like chocolate sauce. My immature mind's racing. Sorry about that. And then some blue. I mean, you can experiment with different colours. I don't suppose it matters. I'm going for a kind of... That's a bit watery. I'm going for kind of like a fake patina kind of look. Whether it'll work, I don't know. I'm not too worried. But, you know, I've got a lot of blue in my journal, so it's the blue that I want to show the most. I think I'll just leave it like that. Then I've just got a bit of sponge here, and I'm just going to, I think I'll hold it with this. I don't know if this will work. I've never done it before. And then dab, dab, dab. Just dab some off. Dab, dab, dab. Okay, dab some off. Oh, that's working. And dab. Keep dabbing. Obviously you can have more brown on it than blue, or a bit more blue. I think I'll have a bit more blue on there. And you can see I'm getting kind of like a fake patina rust kind of effect on here. And because it's acrylic, let's just, this blue could have done with being a little bit darker, but it doesn't matter, it's fine. Okay, let's do this one. Dab, dab, dab. And you're just kind of mixing those two colours together. Let me get a bit of that blue. Let me just dim that blue down a little bit. Okay. And then when it's dry, I wonder if I've got a different shade of blue. I don't. But when it's dry, then turn it over and do the same on the other side. So I'm going to dry it and then I will come back. Okay, so that's that process done. I'm actually quite impressed. These bottle caps have gone from shiny and brand new to looking literally like I've just dug them up from a graveyard. They look really rough. Really rusty. That's really cool. And I don't really think it matters too much what shade you use. I think it's the process of dabbing the acrylic paint and then drying it. It just ends up looking like rust. I would use a sponge to give you that, you know, that mottled dabby effect. And definitely mix a couple of colours, whether you add a blue or a green, whatever, because obviously when metal's in the ground and it's decaying over time, you get different colours coming through, don't you? You know, you might get more green coming through if it's a coppery kind of thing, but I'm really quite impressed with that. They look really old. I'm going to do that technique on some, I think I'm going to try it on some paper clips as well, but not today. Anyway, let's carry on. So here I've got some of the circles that are in the paper collection that I'm using, and all I've done with this one is I've covered it with sellotape. Alright, I've covered it with sellotape and then I've punched it with a 1-inch circle punch, and I can just literally glue that straight down. Now obviously you could glue it down and then add glossy accents, okay, which is a fantastic, fantastic thing to try if you've not used glossy accents before. Let me just see if I can find mine while I'm holding this to dry. So glossy accents is made by Ranger, and it's, if you're not familiar with it, it's a kind of glue. Am I in shot? I've no idea if I'm in shot. It's a kind of glue. It's not cheap, but it's something that you save. You know, you don't glue everything with it like, you know, like you do with your normal glue. You save it. And this little bottle will last forever and 10 days. And you can, if you cover all of that with this, it will give like a glass effect, like it's an epoxy dome. Type of a thing. This is also really good for gluing metal, really good, and it's not as harsh chemical wise and smell wise as things like E6000 or super glue. It's hardly any smell to it at all, so it's just not, it probably is really toxic. I don't know what's in it, but it doesn't smell. Okay, it's really good. You can highlight words with it. You can highlight, you can even like cover like your sentiments like that. If you cover that, all that with this, leave it to dry, it will give you a lovely clear film. It's brilliant stuff if you've not come across it. Right, so there's my little thingy, and I'm going to do one and I will set it with glossy accents at a later date. So I'm using a 1-inch circle punch. I think I'm going to go for this one, try and bring out some of the blue in the paint effect that I've done. So that is just literally paper. Okay, it's literally paper. That's all it is, copy of paper. I'm just going to ink it. I didn't ink that one and I stuck the sellotape over. I'm going to glue it in. Okay, and then I will set it with, wait for the glue to dry, okay, and then I will put some glossy accents in, which is this, okay, and then all you need to do is, if you've got a crocodile, it should easily punch these, very easily. So let's have a look. I'm using the smaller hole, Okay, and I'm going right in at the top there. There we go. There we go. That's very easily punched a hole in there. It's only thin metal, and your crocodile will do it. If you don't have a crocodile, just get a hammer and nail and be very careful. It's only thin metal. It's really, there's nothing to it at all. It's really not heavy. I'm going to punch a hole in that one, and then I will set my glossy accents in there. Okay. Then all we've got to do is find some jump rings. Let's have a look what we've got. And obviously you can punch a hole in the bottom there and add dangles and whatever you like. I'm not very good at that kind of thing. I'll leave that to the experts. Let's have a look. What have we got? These jump rings are going all over the place. You can just use one of these, and I want a jump ring. Don't know if I've got any bronze jump rings. Oh, there we go, there's one. Okay. Right, this is where I get painful. I don't have the patience for jewellery. All of getting all stuff and you know what I mean. I don't know if this is going to even be big enough. Don't think this is going to be big enough. Let me just see. It's not big enough. That's not big enough. Let's see if I can find a larger one. I don't think I've got any in bronze. Don't think I've got any. See if this one will fit. I can always colour it. Let's have a look, see if it fits, because I'm not buying. We'll use what we've got, and if it doesn't fit, I will come up with an alternative plan. Right, my jump rings don't fit. They're not quite big enough. So what you can do is literally just add it onto a bulb pin. Okay, just literally add it straight onto a bulb pin, like so. The other thing you could do is you can use twine, good old twine, and you can just loop it around and then tie it onto wherever you want it. Yep, so you'd have your hole there. Say you've got something on your journal with a hole, and just literally tie it in a knot. And how rustic and cool does that look? How cool does that look? So let's see where we could put this. My hands are dirty. I don't really want to get my journal mucky. I don't want a mucky journal. Right, so let's have a look. We could add it on there. I think I'm going to do a new tab. Let's have a look. This is a nice one. This is a nice one. So I've printed these on lightweight cardstock. So all you need to do is really quickly cut them out around the perimeter. Okay, so around the perimeter only, then fold them in half. This is the easiest way to do it, so that you get nice, even, get off, sides. Am I in shot? Let me just check. Yeah. So you get nice, even sides. So they're, you know, they're the same, but it doesn't need to be perfect. And then get your scissors and desiccate it. Now, I made these quite large, so they're not fiddly to cut. They're very, very simple. And when you do them out of cardstock, they become super sturdy. And that's how you get them, so that they're more or less the same on each side. More or less. And if they're not, just keep trimming till they are. It don't matter. Ink, ink, ink hides a multitude of sins. So if you've not cut it perfect, just ink it. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. Right, let's have a look where we're going to put it. So I'm still working in the first half of the book. So I want a nice sturdy page for it to go on. Okay, because, so I think I'm going to put it on here. I think that's nice. Mind you, I've got this. I don't really want to. Let's have a look. That's a nice sturdy page. Oh, that's nice, because it could go. I've not used the bird though, have I? could use the bird instead and double them up. Right, so I'm going to put my tab on here. Okay, what have I got on the other side? So this side's just plain. It's a sturdy page. Some of my pages I've printed on really thin, like standard copier paper. When you're putting tabs or you're going to put a charm or anything like that on, do it on a minimum 120 GSM. I don't know what that is in pounds for American or overseas users. You have to Google it. Google is your friend. Right, so now I'm going to... No, I'm not using that. What am I on about? Move over this. Now I'm going to do this one. We're going to punch a hole for our charm. Roughly in the middle. There, do you reckon? I reckon that's roughly in the middle. I'm not too worried. If you're worried, you can measure it. Get one of my thingies. Set it. Okay. And then you just need to just dangle your thingy off or add some twine or whatever you want to do. Let's see if we can get this right. I might need to go and I've got some more jump rings, but they're in another room. They're in my daughter's room, so what you can do sometimes is just, is it gonna go? Put it that way so that the bulb's at the top. I've done it, but it's back to front now. Ah, I'm not playing. Not playing. It's back to front. Right, I'll rearrange that after. But can you see that fantastic rust effect there? How cool does that look? It's back to front. I'm going to change it. But if you look there, look, we've got our fabulous rusted tab. So that's how you do it, okay? And you just keep playing until you get the effect that you want. Obviously, I'm going to have to mess with this now and turn it around so it faces the other way. But you get the general gist. So grab some acrylic paints and get playing. These are just bottle tops. How cool and what fun. And that really does look like I've just dug it up from a grave. So I hope you enjoy that and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.